We're going to address this. Go to Ezekiel 2. Now, what this lesson is going to be a little different. I'm going to read for the sake of time. And for y'all told me it's going in. So y'all just put on your seatbelt. You about to go for a little ride. Okay? You about to go for a little ride. Ezekiel 2. All right. Whew. Here we go. It says, start with Ezekiel's call. And he said to me, this is Ezekiel. Ezekiel was a priest that was doing all the stuff for the Most High. Let me give you some context. The Most High is upset at Yasharah, the children of Israel, because we are wicked. Our ancestors are wicked. This is the Old Testament God that they don't like, that Christianity has taught us. Remember, I'm not talking bad about Christianity, guys, because we understand something. We weren't Christians. Okay, y'all says, explain this real quick. We were not Christians. Christian is a derogatory term that was put on the children of Yasharah. Yahusha, Jesus was not a Christian, guys. Show me where Jesus said, I'm a Christian. And I can show you where he said, I am from the line, I am from the house of the Lord, sheep. I am from the tribe of Judah. You show me where he said he's a Christian, which you can't. And I can show you where he said he's from the tribe of Judah, from the line of David. You show me where Paul said he was a Christian. I can show you where he said, I am Shaul from the tribe of Benjamin. You show me where Moses said he was a Christian. I'll show you where he said, I am Masha from the line of tribe of Levi. These are the 12.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yah. These are the children of Yasharah, and these are their history book. This is our ancestors' book, written for us, to us, by us, for us. This is FUBU, for us, by us, for us to teach it to the world. Yah's talking now, the Ruach is here. This is our book. It ain't even your book. That's why you can't decipher it. That's why you misquoting Shaul. That's why you misquoting Yahusha. That's why they teach you. That's why Christianity, who the Romans came and called us Christians. The Romans came in Acts and called the children of Yasharah. Let me turn this light off. The Romans came and called the children of Yasharah Christians. Just like they called us NIGGAs when we got here. First of all, they called us Hebos when we got off the ships. Y'all don't even know that. They called us Hebos, Hebrew Negroes, from Negro land where they got us from. Y'all don't know the word. It's going down. You're going to learn on Mashiach's assembly. You're going to learn it all. So they called us Hebos first because they knew who we were. Okay, and they shaved our heads and changed our names and did all the stuff they did to us, took our word from us, gave us their word. So in the book of Acts, the Romans came amongst them and called us a derogatory term. It wasn't no Christians because there is no such thing in our Hebrew tongue. It was Mashiachs. He called them little Mashiachs, followers of the Messiah, Mashiach, right? And that was derogatory. They wasn't going to call us Israelites like the children of Yasharah, like the Most High call us. So they gave us a derogatory name like they did everywhere we go. We are what? Called to be a proverb and a byword. Do y'all know Deuteronomy? Do y'all know the curses? And every nation that we will be sent, we will be called a proverb and a byword. A derogatory term. So first of all, y'all proud to be Christians. It's because y'all don't understand what it is. Y'all don't even know that's like them calling you a NIGGA. But you haven't been awakened. That's what we're doing right now. So you'll release that. I rebuke you because the Romans told you that. The ones who came to enslave you and kill you called you that. We weren't called that. You can't show me nobody who called you that. It don't exist. So you're not a Christian. You were never a Christian. You are Hebrew Israelites from one of the 12 tribes of Yasharah. The Most High calls you his anointed people. He called you the children of Israel all through the book. He ain't never called you no freaking Christian. So stop calling yourself that. Come out of her, my people. The church is circa. It's a demon. All of them are demons. Lord is Baal. It's a demon. That's Moloch. They have you calling on demons every Sunday, on the sun's day, not even the Shabbat. Do you see the wickedness? Do you see the deceit and the deception? Come out of her, my people. That's what he's talking about. The church is her. It's Roman Catholicism. The Roman Catholic Church is the mother church. That's where it comes from. That's why the churches have to answer to them. That's why they have 503Cs. That's why they couldn't teach the word. That's why they couldn't teach you who you are, because they have to answer to the Roman Catholic Church. We ain't gonna go into all that. Whew, y'all just wanted to touch on this a little bit. That was a rule out there. Praise y'all. Okay, let's go. He needs to give you backdrop. So Yah is mad at the children of Yasharal, our ancestors. So this is what he did to Ezekiel. And he said to me, Son of man, stand on your feet and I will speak with you. This is Yah. And he spoke to me. The Spirit entered into me and set me on my feet. Whew, that's powerful. Ezekiel said, Yah told him, just check out, you can tell when Yah is upset. Yah is upset. He said, stand on your feet and I will speak with you, right? Ezekiel said, and he spoke to me in the Spirit into me and lift me up on my feet. He didn't get a chance to stand on his feet. That was so powerful. Yah is so upset that the Ruach entered him and lifted him up to his feet. And he heard him speaking. And Yah said to him, Son of man, I send you to the people of Yasharal. Did he say I send you to the Christians? Absolutely not. He said, I send you to the people of Yasharal, to the nations of rebels who have rebelled against me. They and their fathers has transgressed me against me to this very day. This is going to be a hard lesson, y'all. Understand, this is going to be a hard one. There's a lot coming that some of this y'all didn't know. Some of it went over your head. Some of y'all didn't have the discernment. This is going to be a hard one, but we're going to get through it. He said, who have rebelled against me, they and their fathers has transgressed against me to this very day. The descendants also are impudent and stubborn. These are us now. These are ancestors. And I send you to them, and you shall say to them, thus says Yahweh Elohim. And whether they hear or they refuse to hear, for they are a rebellious house of Yasharal, they will know that a prophet has been among them. I know some of y'all already know. When I read this, when y'all told me and I read this, I started shaking in the ruach. Because I was sitting up there, y'all, you got me saying this stuff and it's going against everything everybody else is teaching. I'm telling y'all to go back to the garden, right? Ain't nobody tell y'all to go back to the garden. Ain't nobody tell y'all to go back to the original covenant. I've never heard that one person on this planet Earth since I've been following Christian or not tell y'all to go back to the original covenant. We go into Genesis on this lesson. I'm going to show y'all. Nobody's told you that. And I'm sitting up there like, y'all, what? Now, understand, I'm not a prophet, but I do have a gift of prophecy, but I don't even like titles. I'm nothing. I'm a servant of the Most High, y'all, but I can see myself. I can see. I'm looking at this word. I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all. He said, they and their fathers have transgressed against me. Think about this. This is us. Guys, this is us. Today, this very day, the descendants, the children are also impudent and stubborn. You can't let them give away from Christianity. They're gonna quote Paul. They gonna eat their unclean meats. They're gonna do all this stuff. They're gonna say the Lord's done away with because they're impudent and stubborn, right? He said, whether they hear, he said, I send you to them, and you shall say to them, thus says Yahweh Elohim, and whether they hear or refuse to hear, they will know that a prophet has been among them. And you, son of man, be not afraid of them, nor be afraid of their words. When I'm reading this, I'm sitting up there like, if y'all watch my other lessons, I've been saying this. I'll be like, y'all, they ain't gonna like, I don't care. I ain't scared. Like, I'm gonna bring it away. I don't care. Like, I'm like, it blew my mind when I'm reading this at this moment. Because I've read the whole Bible before, but you understand, when you read through different eyes, it's like, and he said, you, son of man, be not afraid of them, nor be afraid of their words. Through briars and thorns, Though briars and thorns are with you, and you sit on scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, for they are a rebellious house. And you shall speak my words to them, whether they hear or refuse to hear, for they are a rebellious house. What did I say? I'm going to speak the word no matter what. You know, people ain't liking that. Telling you, put down this and put that up, come back to the garden and get that stuff out your hair, grow your, cover your head. Everything I'm speaking is the word of Yah. He says, speak it among scorpions, thorns, all this, these righteous, these elders, these leaders, amongst it all. Speak my word. He said, speak my word, no matter what. He said, but you, son of man, hear what I say to you. Woo! Be not rebellious like that rebellious house. Open your mouth and eat what I give you. Y'all. Last week or the week before, I said the word is food. Y'all remember? I said it is actually living food. You are to eat the word. I said he placed it in my heart. I eat the word every day. Like, this blew my mind. This was a couple of hours ago when I was preparing this. I have to read what he's telling me to, you know, I can't just, he said, do Ezekiel's call, and I just get on. No, I have to read what he's telling me so I can know. And I'm like, oh my goodness. He said, be not rebellious like that rebellious house. Open your mouth and eat what I give you. And when I looked, behold, a hand was stretched out to me. And behold, a scroll of a book was in the hand, and he spread it before me, and it had writing on the front and on the back, and there was written on it words of lamentation and mourning and woe. And by y'all just said about the lamentation, I didn't even get to go into it in the last Bible study. It was a part of my Bible study, but we went so long, I didn't even get to the lamentation part. So that's what about y'all was talking about lamentation. Put on, I was like, this is part of this study, and I didn't even get a chance to get to it. But I'll get to it another time. He said, and when he looked, his hand was stretched out, and a scroll, a book was in it, and it's a scroll, and it spread out before me, and it had writing on the front and on the back, and there was written on it words of lamentation and mourning and woe. Okay. And he said to me, son of man, eat whatever you find here. He told him, eat these words. He ain't tell him read these words. He ain't tell him quote these words. He told him ingest them. And what do y'all shall say? The word will be written in our hearts, in our inward parts, right? In those last day and times, right? That's why we don't have to, it'll be written in our inward parts, eaten. He told him, eat it. Son of man, eat whatever you find here. Eat the scroll and go speak to the house of Yasharel. And Ezekiel said, so I opened my mouth and he gave me the scroll to eat. What was I just talking about when we said, is the Bible to be taken literally? See, praise Yah. The word Yah, the word explains itself. You understand that? That's what the word's living. So everything that will be brought out, Yah's going to give you the confirmations, 2 or 3 witnesses. That's what this is. That's a witness to what I was just saying. The word ain't to be taken literal. So if you fool's going to take it literal, you're going to say he ate a scroll. Yah gave him a piece of paper and he ate the paper. That's literal. 2 or 3 witnesses. The word going to, the precepts, the word's going to manifest itself. Anything that I ever speak to you, Yah's going to confirm it because it's not my doing. It's not me speaking. He's going to confirm it all the time, no matter what I say. Okay. And he said to me, son, man, eat whatever you find and eat this scroll and go speak to the house of Yasharal. So I opened my mouth and he gave me the scroll to eat. And he said to me, son of man, feed your belly with the scroll that I give you and fill your stomach with it. Then I ate it and it was in my mouth as sweet as honey. Praise Yah. You know what I just thought when I was just reading this? Do you think he had a stomach full of dying flesh and blood? That's very interesting. That is a very interesting thought. Do you think he had a stomach full of dying flesh and blood? And the Most High said, feed this word. He said, fill your stomach with it. And guess what? Y'all about to find out in a few minutes. Y'all about to find out. This is going to be, I tell you, it's going to be good today. Y'all about to find out. And he said to me, son of man, go to the house of Yasharal and speak my words to them. For you are not sent to a people of, here we go. For you are not sent to a people of foreign speech and a hard language, but to the house of Yasharal. Not to many peoples of foreign speech and a hard language whose words you cannot understand. Surely if I sent you to such, they would listen to you. Okay, time to unpack. Thank you, y'all. Y'all got to understand how y'all speaks. Y'all got to, that's why he gave a special, he said, I have a special heart, place in my heart for the Gentiles who turn to me over my own children. He said, because they are not, I'm not even Elohim, and they rebuke all those other gods and choose me. But those who are my own receive me not. So he said they have a special place for them. Listen to what he said. He said, I'm not sending you. He said, I'm sending you. Go and speak with my words to them, for you are not sent to people of a foreign speech. You're not sent to another nation and a hard language, but you're sent to who? The children of Yasharal, who we are, right? Not to many peoples of foreign speech and a hard language whose words you cannot understand, these other nations. Because surely if I sent you to them, they would listen to you. That's a smack in the face. Receive it, Yasharal, you proud people. Receive it. Humble yourself. This is the problem. This is what he's calling us. This is the problem. Humble yourself. He said this other, if I sent you to the other nations, he say that, and guess what? 2 or 3 witnesses. Those who know this word, really know this Bible, you know the other places where he says this more than one time. He says this in different places. But we ain't supposed to, we're supposed to reject the Gentiles. You understand? You know, who's coming in here later? Mitch. No, Mitch is coming in later when he get off work. I'm supposed to reject Mitch, right? Because he a Gentile. I'm supposed to say, Mitch, you can't come. This is for Hebrews only. Fools. All right. He said, for you are not sent to a people of foreign speech and a hard language, but to the house of Yasharal. Not to many peoples of foreign speech and a hard language whose words you cannot understand, because surely if I sent you to them, they would listen to you. But the house of Yasharal will not be willing to listen to you, for they are not willing to listen to me. Oh my goodness. I told y'all this is going to be one today, guys. He said, the children of Israel ain't going to listen to you because they don't even listen to me. They're going to make Paul their God. They're going to make a New Testament God who won't speak these words, who won't do what I'm about to do. They're going to make excuses for all their sin. Come out of her, my people. All right. For to such they will listen to you. But the house of Yasharal will not be willing to listen to you, for they are not willing to listen to me, because all the house of Yasharal have a hard forehead and a stubborn heart. Behold, I have made your face as hard as their faces, and your forehead as hard as their foreheads. Like emery harder than flint have I made your forehead. Fear them not, Ezekiel, nor be dismayed at their looks, for they are a rebellious house. Moreover, he said to me, son of man, all my words that I shall speak to you, receive in your heart and hear with your ears, and go to the exiles, to your people, and speak to them and say to them, thus says Yahweh Elohim, whether they hear or refuse to hear. I got a thing that's coming up later in this lesson, and Yah told me to do it. I was like, okay. I didn't even know. I thought I was going to still say it, but he told me to show the ministry. I'm about to put a ministry on this screen, and y'all about to hear them say these words out your mouth. It's the first ones to be exposed. And I was like, yeah? He said, absolutely. And I found the clip. And I couldn't find the clip because I watched it last night. It's a long 4 or 5 hour thing. And I seen the piece, and I didn't think I was going to say anything. I seen the piece, and I seen them in error. right, in sin. And I'm like, oh, these people. And then later on, he said, I need you to find that and put it in the lesson. And I'm like, what? So when I got home and I'm trying to get this lesson together, that was the one I couldn't find it. It's 5 hours long. You know, I'm trying, it's 1 second that they said it. So I'm going through a 5 hour, I can't find it. So when I was just washing up, I went to bed, I got all this together, I went to bed, I just woke up, got 2 hours, I'm washing up. I said, let me put it on and play it and while I'm washing up, so hopefully I can hear it and find it. So I finished washing up, it's like 7:45, right, for y'all ready to start. So I'm like, okay. So I said, well, y'all, I guess you don't want me to put it in the video. And he said, absolutely not. He said, no, you're going to put it in the video. So I said, well, I guess what I'll do is I'll do the lesson, and then in editing later, I'll add it in to the video later in editing. So I was fine with that. So I'm getting my stuff, cleaning up the bathroom, getting ready to walk out, and the doggone thing came on. Boom. You know how y'all works. He said, I said, oh, shoot, there it go. And I stopped it. I said, look at you. I said, yeah. I'm telling you guys, he'll give you, when you do his will, it's his will. You go, like, that was 11:59 seconds. You understand that? It's a 5 hour video. I said, that way they just said it, and y'all about to see it. So I'm saying that point because y'all are about to see a ministry, and that's what he was talking about. He said, don't be scared. He said, they're not going to like it. They're not going to like you. You need to say what I need you to say, because guess what? These people are puffed up. These people got a big Hebrew ministry. A lot of y'all follow them. Most of y'all, I followed them. That was my ministry. I thought I was going to be a part of it. I followed them. But I'm not called to be, I'm called to clean up. Y'all don't understand. And they don't even know, and they're going to know who I am with these testimonies. And I'm an elder. So I know they're looking at me like this person new and young. I'm older than all y'all young men. You are young men to me. And I don't know why I don't look like it, because my temple is pure. That's why I'm able to talk to you, young man. And you need to listen. But you got all these subscribers. I'm not sure. We'll see. But what did he tell them? What did he tell Ezekiel? Y'all reading it? He said, moreover, he said to me, son of man, all my words that I should speak to you, receive in your heart and hear with your ears, and go to them, to your people, and speak to them and say to them, thus said Yahweh Elohim, whether they hear or refuse to hear. That's what it's on. I knew it was coming. I've been saying it before. I kept saying it's all of them. I got to go to them in emails and all that. But this one, they just put it out in public, and and then I'm gonna write them after this. I'm gonna get Ronice, and we're gonna find their email, and we're gonna write them and see if they can. We need to talk.
It's time.
Yep, it's time. Praise Yah. It's time, and y'all about to see it right here on here. We're gonna get to it. Then the Spirit lifted me up, and I heard behind me the voice of a great earthquake. Blessed be the glory of Yahweh from its place. It was the sound of the wings of the living creatures as they touched one another, and the sound of the wheels beside them, and the sound of a great earthquake. The Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went into bitterness in the heat of my spirit, the hand of Yahweh being strong upon me. And I came to the exiles at Tel Aviv, who were dwelling by the Shebar Canal, and I say where they were dwelling. And I sat there overwhelmed among them for 7 days. Ezekiel had a task on his hand. And at the end of 7 days, the word of Yahweh came to me. Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Yasharal. Whenever you hear a word from my mouth, you shall give them a warning from me. If I say to the wicked, you shall surely die, and you give him not a warning, he's talking to Ezekiel now. If I say to, now this is a place that I had to be very careful. I had to listen. He said, if I say to the wicked, you shall surely die, and you don't warn them, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way in order to save his life, that wicked person shall die for his iniquity, but his blood will I require at your hand, Ezekiel. So that's saying, you better say what I tell you to say. I don't care if you think that they're not going to like you. I don't care if they got big ministries. I don't care if everybody in Yasharal hates your guts. I don't care if they call you a fake prophet, a false fool, or this and that, who you speak what I told you, because if you don't, and they die from their iniquity, I'm going to require their blood on your hand. He said, but if you do warn the wicked, and he don't turn from his wickedness or from the wicked way, he shall die for his own iniquity, but you would have delivered your own soul. Praise Yah. I know that's right. I'm going to do everything you tell me to do, Yah. You tell me to take their head, I'm going to take their head. Hallelujah. You tell me to speak the word, I'm going to speak the word. I don't care who they are. I don't care how much ministry they got. I don't care how many followers they got. I don't care who they are. I'm going to do your will. Absolutely. But you will have delivered your soul. I ain't losing my soul for y'all. That's where Moshe went wrong. Moses lost, didn't make it into the promised land because of them wicked Israelites. That's where he went wrong. Should have listened to y'all when y'all said, I want to slay them all. He should have said, man, Most High, your will be done. Slay them all. But he didn't. His heart was soft, too soft. Y'all can't do nothing with that. He wants you to be humble and meek, but he was too humble and meek, too soft. Y'all said, I got somebody on the side. I got somebody in the wing. Joshua. Joshua ain't soft. Right? And praise Moshe. We'll see him in, like Batya said, we're going to give Moshe a big hug. Because our ancestors did that to Moshe, made him miss his way into the promised land. He was righteous, and so I'm going to hug the mess out of Moshe. I'm going to hug him so much, he's going to be like, get off me, dude. Let me go. Because he make it into the kingdom, but he ain't make it to the promised land, okay? And it's his time. He's calling us to be strong. Again, all right. But if you warn the wicked and he does not turn from a wickedness or from his wicked way, he shall die for his iniquity, but you would have delivered your soul. Again, if a righteous person turns from his righteousness and commits injustice, okay, let's slow this down. So y'all's talking, you gotta slow down with y'all to hear what he's saying. He said, and again, if a righteous person, now this person is righteous, turns from his righteousness and commits injustice, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because you have not warned him, he shall die for his sin, and his righteous deeds that he has done shall not be remembered. But his blood will I require at your hand. But if you warn the righteous person not to sin, oh my goodness, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he took the warning, and you will have delivered your soul. Oh my goodness, y'all. Understand something. What we're about to show, this person is righteous. Oh my goodness. This person is righteous. I know that they're righteous, but they're in error. They're in sin. And he said, if I don't warn him and he die, his righteous deeds will not be remembered, but his blood is going to be required on my hand. But if I do warn him, which I am about to do, we're about to do this tonight. Okay, we about to warn him. Okay, and the righteous person, but if you warn the righteous person not to sin, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he took the warning, and you will have delivered your soul. I know y'all can see how this was like mind-blowing for me when I was reading this a couple of hours ago. I'm like, my goodness. At the hand of Yahuwah was upon me, and the hand of Yahuwah was upon me there. And he said to me, arise, go out into the valley, and there I will speak with you. So I arose, and I went out into the valley, and behold, the glory of Yahuwah stood there like the glory that I had seen by the Sheba Canal. And I fell onto my face, but the Spirit entered me and set me back on my feet. Yo, this thing is powerful. That's Yah, when he's showing you his righteous anger. Every time he told Ezekiel to stand, and he couldn't even stand, the Spirit lifted him up off his feet. Every time the Spirit what did the Spirit keep doing? Lift him up off his feet. He ain't got time to stand up. The Spirit is taking them over. Remember, the Ruach is soft and gentle, right? When have you seen a Ruach this rough? When have you seen it? I've never seen it. I'm like, wow, the Ruach is even upset. You never see like the Ruach upset. I'm like, the Ruach is like, get up, bang. Like, this is raw. Like, this is the God they don't like. This is the Old Testament God they don't like. Okay. All right. He said, and you son of man, okay. And the hand of the Lord was upon me, and he said, arise, go out into the valley, and there I will speak with you. So I arose, and I went out into the valley, and behold, the glory of Yahuwah stood there like the glory that I had seen by the Sheba Canal, and I fell on my face. But the Spirit entered me and set me right back on my feet. And he spoke with me and said to me, go shut yourself within your house. Oh, this one was tough on me too. Go shut yourself within your house, and you, O son of man, behold, cords will be placed upon you, and you shall be bound with them, so you cannot go out among the people. Y'all, when I read this, what y'all don't understand is, I told y'all, he set me down for 5 years. That's why I said I got 1,000 videos made. I try to read, in the house and bound you with cords, and you can't say a word. The revelation for me reading this, guys, and I'm not Ezekiel. I'm not a priest. I'm not a prophet. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. But I know myself when I see myself. I know what I've lived. I know what y'all have done to me. I know who I am. So I can't read something that don't, like if you read a description of yourself, you know that's you. You know what happened to you. It blew my mind. I'm sitting there like, my goodness. He said, go shut yourself within your house. That's what he told me. Sit down. And you, son of man, behold, cords will be placed upon you. You should be bound with them so that you cannot go out among the people. He told me, I told you, he took me, no, you ain't going among nobody. Nobody gonna know nothing. Sit down. And he took me amongst them one time in 2018 just to let me see their rebuke, this same thing, these wicked Israelites. And then he took me amongst them. Wait till I do a testament. Took me amongst them one day and then sat me back down. I was so hurt. Took me amongst them. I was hurt and destroyed and then sat me back down again. Now go back into your house. Bound you with cords again to 2021. That was 2018. I'm replaying it now because now I can know because he's just releasing me. Okay. He said, O son of man, behold, cords will be placed upon you, and you shall be bound with them so that you cannot go out among the people. And I will make your tongue cling to the roof of your mouth. That's what he says, shut up, so that you, oh my goodness. He says, so that you shall be mute and unable to reprove them, for they are a rebellious house, dude. Oh my goodness. This is actually making me emotional. This revelation this is a lot, guys. This is a lot, because y'all don't know what I've been through. I ain't do the testimonies yet. When I do the testimonies and y'all play this video back, y'all gonna understand what I'm talking about. He shut I'll tell your tongue, you don't understand how much wisdom, all this. I was this person, I went from prison, ministering to hundreds of them. I had this anointed. He told me, shut your mouth. I will make your tongue cling to the roof of your mouth so that you shall be mute and unable. Oh my goodness, y'all. For they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with you, I will open your mouth, which is right now. Right now, 2021, from 2017. He closed my mouth. He made the tongue cling to the roof of my mouth. And he said, when I speak with you, I will open your mouth and you shall say to them, thus says Yahuwah the Elohim. He who will hear, and I keep saying that, this is blowing my mind. He who will hear, let him hear. And he who refuses to hear, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house. Let's go. Let's continue. My goodness. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a moment because this is a bit much for me. Like for real. And you, son of man, take a brick and lay it before you and engrave on it a city, even Yerushalayim, and put siege works against it, and build the siege wall against it, and cast up a mountain against it, set camps also against it, and plant battle rams against it all around. And you take an iron griddle and place it as an iron wall between you and the city, and set your face toward it, and let it be in a state of siege, and press the siege against it. This is a sign for the house of Yasharal. That is all symbolic and literal. That is symbolic and literal. He's telling them, he's causing their calamity. He said, take a brick, lay it before you, and grave on it a city. So he said, take a brick and draw a city, Jerusalem, put a siege works against it, and build a siege wall against the brick, and cast up a mound against it, put it down and build a fort against it. Set camps also against it, put other stuff against it, and plant battle rams against it all around. Take sticks and stones and put it against that battle and the city, and set your face toward it, look at it, and let it be in a state of siege. You know how the kids play with a thing? You know, play with toys and build a siege and build a battle. He said, and press the siege against it. And then take the siege that you put aside and push it against that brick. Jerusalem, us, our children of Israel, our city, our home. And he said, this is a sign for the house of Yasharal. Do y'all see that symbolism, guys? Please, somebody answer me.
Yes.
Praise
Hallelujah.
Yah. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
He told Ezekiel to take, and press the siege against it. This is a sign for the house of us, Israel. Remember, y'all still see no Christian, right? And say this is a sign for the Christians. Then lie on your left side and place the punish. This got heavy for me when I read this, guy, because when I do my testimonies, y'all gonna see the pain and suffering I went through. It's so heavy. That's what this is. When I read this, it hurt me. He said, then lie on your left side and place the punishment of the house of Israel upon it. He told Ezekiel to lie on your left side. He's using Ezekiel as a living testimony. It's like a living sacrifice. That's the word. As a living sacrifice for what the children of Israel, his wicked ancestors, which he didn't do. Ezekiel was righteous. That's why I come before you the way I do. Y'all don't know. Y'all gonna know. That's why he told me to do all the testimonies, so y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna understand what I'm talking about. He said, then lie on your left side and place the punishment of the house of Yasharal upon it. For the number of the days that you lie on it shall bear their punishment. For I assign to you a number of days, 390 days, equal to the number of years of their punishment. So long shall you bear the punishment of the house of Yasharal. And when you have completed these, you shall lie down a second time, but this time on your right side, and bear the punishment of the house of Judah. Israel and Judah are two different, for those who are just awakening. Israel and Judah. So we are the children of Israel, right? But we were one nation together. But after the house of David, his sons, we split into two nations. One became the house of Israel, and one became the house of Judah, where they get the wish people get that word from, that J-E-W word. It's actually Judah, the house. That's where that comes from. Before that, it was just the house of Israel. So so we split the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom were the other 9 tribes. They called Israel, and they went away. The southern kingdom was still in Jerusalem. That's us, where Yahushua, Jesus, descended from David, the line we come from, the house of Judah. And with Judah, the tribe of Benjamin and the Levitical priests and Levites stayed with Judah. And they got absorbed into Judah. So that's why the other 9 tribes are the lost sheep. They went away. They became Romans, Gentiles, Samaritans. They became everything else. They became Gentiles. So that's who Shaul Paul was going to, mostly who he's speaking to. But then the other Gentiles, true blood-born Gentiles, were there as well, and they started to cleave to the house of Israel. But he went to the house of Israel, where there was the other 9 tribes, which were called Gentiles, because they was forsook Yah. So that's what this is. So he said, on your left side is the punishment for Israel, the 9 tribes. He said, then after that, lay on your right side, and this is going to be the punishment for our ancestors, the tribe of Judah, who we descend from, and Benjamin and Levi. Okay? So, just to give y'all understanding. So long shall you bear the punishment of the house. Okay, for I assign you a number of days, 390 days, equal to the number of years of their punishment. For so long shall you bear the punishment of the house of Yasharal, Israel. And when you have completed these, you shall lie down a second time, but this time on your right side, and bear the punishment of the house of Judah. 40 days I assign you, a day for each year. So for Israel, it was 390 days, but for Judah, he's 40 days. And 40 is a very important number. Y'all know that. 40 days I assign you, a day for each year. 40 years, and you shall set your face toward the siege of Jerusalem with your arm bared, and you shall prophesy against the city. And behold, I will place cords upon you so that you cannot turn from one side to the other till you have completed the days of your siege. He's tormenting. Y'all see it's kind of torturous what he's doing to Ezekiel? He's suffering for their sins. It kind of reminds me of Hamashiach a little bit. You know, he's suffering. It's not even his sins. He's having to place a cord upon you so you can turn from one side to the other till you completed the days of your siege. And you take wheat. Okay, here we go. Now we get into it. And you take wheat and barley, beans and lentils, millet and emmer, and put them into a single vessel and make your bread from them. During the number of days that you lie on your side, 390 days for Israel, you shall eat this bread that you made with wheat and barley and beans and lentil and millet and emmer. And your food that you eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels. A day from day to day, you shall eat it. So now what he's doing is he's kind of starving him a little bit. So he's saying, so remember, this is suffering. So he said, you're going to make this bread with wheat and barley and beans and lentils, right? And you'll put it in a vessel, and understand something. 390 days. He says Ezekiel is only going to eat this bread. That's over a year. Okay, on his side, which is probably symbolic, right? And your food that you shall eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day, from day to day, a little bit. You shall eat it. And water you shall drink by measure, the 6th part of a hin. From day to day you should drink, limited water. He's like suffering. Like for 390 days, you're going to eat a little bit of bread. And for 390 days, you're going to drink a little bit of water.
I got a Bible that says the meat is 7.7 ounces, and then the water is 21 ounces per day. Okay, so per day, and hold up, and it says in your Bible it says the meat, right? Yep, meat
and
for the food.
And what does it say here in this King James? Do you see meat?
No.
Very interesting. Thank you for bringing that out for all of y'all. You see how this is a whole part of this lesson. And if we even get to it yet, I'm so glad you brought that out. Because right here it says you would take the wheat and the barley, the beans, the lentil, the millet, and the emmer, and put them in a single vessel and make your bread from them. It says nothing about meat. But then in another scripture, I don't know which book is that? Which
this is one of the translations called the One New Man Bible, and it doesn't say meat in the actual verse, but in the footnote,
there you go. That's why I tell people do not read it. Thank you. I told people I dealt with this in Christianity because even in Christianity I saw the word different from everyone else. So I would try to teach certain things, and they would go to these footnotes, right? And they would start reading. I was like, who are you? Who wrote this footnote? Like, do y'all not understand? A man wrote that? Probably someone who enslaved you, probably a slave master, first of all, right? You don't even know who wrote this footnote. And that's what they do. They'll go to all type of footnotes and commentaries. They call another one, all type of stuff. Go ahead, Baya.
I remember the church that my sister and I were going to. It was a mandate that everyone got an NLT Bible. Okay, and if you know the NLT Bible, it's right there, cousin neck and neck with the NIV Bible. Okay, and they are full of the footnotes and the little sidebars and the commentaries. What I want to say, and I'm sorry that, I'm here with y'all. My house was dealt with today, so I'm putting everything back. It was like packing.
Okay. So, and you take wheat and barley beans, right? During the number of days you lie 300 night, and you food that you eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day, and you shall drink by measure. The sixth part of a hin from day to day you shall drink, and you shall eat it as a barley cake. So he said you're going to eat this bread as a barley cake with your water that you're going to measure every day, right? Baking it in their sight on human feces, on human dung. He said, you are going to take this bread that you made with wheat and barley and beans. You're going to take your water that I give you every day for 390 days, right? You're going to eat it as a barley cake, and you will bake it in their sight where they can see you on human feces. You will bake this bread that you're going to eat on your own excrement. And Yahuwah said, thus shall the people of Israel eat their bread unclean among the nations where I will drive them. Oh, y'all don't know Yah. Y'all don't know Yah when he's angry. That's why they say the fear of Yahuwah. You better have a righteous fear of our Father, because our Father don't play, okay? He said he's going to make you do this in their sight so that people of Yasharal will eat their bread unclean among all the nations where he will drive us. There he go again. There he go again. His word is just not mean one people at one place at one time. Understand something. He's talking in our ancestors, them where he's going to drive us, and also to us, to all the nations, because he's going to say it later, where he will drive us across the four corners of the planet Earth. And what those nations will do to us. Eat unrighteous bread. And Yahuwah said, thus shall the people of Israel eat their bread unclean among the nations where I will drive them. Then I said, Yah, behold, here go Ezekiel. Here we go. We about to get funky now. Ezekiel said, but Yah, come on, Yah, I have never defiled myself. From my youth, Yah, up until now, I have never eaten what died of itself. Now he's talking about flesh and blood. Okay, here we go, guys. Listen very carefully. Ezekiel said, but Yah, I have never defiled myself. From my youth up until now, I have never eaten what died of itself or was torn by beasts, nor has tainted meat come into my mouth. He's saying I have eaten according to the dietary laws, the clean meat that y'all are saying, yes, clean meat, right? Yes, you can hold on to clean meat, right? Let's see what Yah felt about that. Okay, he said, behold, I've never defiled myself from my youth up until now. I have never eaten what died of itself or was torn by beasts, nor has tainted meat ever come into my mouth, Father. Then Yah said to him, see, I assign to you cow's dung instead of human dung on which you may prepare your bread. Yah said, okay, my son, since you were righteous, you never defiled yourself. And yeah, you ate from your dietary law, which I gave my compromise, right? So we going back now. Remember last week's lesson? You did according to my compromise, right? Right? Okay. So because I can't, because of that, you don't have to cook your bread on human feces. You gonna cook it on cow S-H-I-T. Cow feces. So that's Yah You see why they don't like Yah? You see why they don't like Yah? That ain't the God they want to serve. They want to serve this God that's going to be like, yes, Ezekiel, I received this clean meat that you're eating for the dietary laws from my compromise. But let me tell y'all something, Yasharal. Yah told me there was a time when he gets tired of the compromise. The compromise wasn't supposed to be forever. The compromise was a test for us. He said, because of our wickedness, right? Because sin was brought into the world, right? Because of their desires of the flesh, now sin was brought into the world, I will give them a compromise. I will make some called dietary laws and make some called clean and unclean meats, right? And I'll allow them to eat these meats, right? Don't eat these because they're unclean. But this ain't my original covenant that I made them for. And we go to Genesis, right? He said, this ain't the original covenant, but I got a compromise. What he told me, what he was doing was he was hoping that his children would not be satisfied with the compromise, that would really want to please his heart, his natural covenant, that will come back and say, you know what, Yah, that ain't your original covenant for us. That's a compromise after sin was born into the world. I would rather please you. I would rather go back to the original covenant that you created us in the garden, in the world, when you created us on the 6th day before sin was brought into the world. I would rather go back to please you, not your compromise. So what Yah taught me was, he said his anger got roused up against us to still eating the meat. Why do you think when the children of Yasharal was in the wilderness, right? When they was complaining about Egypt, right? And they was like, we want meat. We want meat. And Yah said, you want meat, you disgusting, despicable, rebellious, stubborn children? I'm going to give you meat and I'm going to rain it down till it come up to your necks and it's going to come out your pores and you're going to eat this quail meat until you all die. Nobody's tell you that, right? You don't see, nobody's teach you that, right? This, that Ezekiel word he's telling me to bring that ain't nobody going to like to hear. But what he say? Those who have ears, he said, teach it no matter what. And those who have ears to hear will hear. This is the time of the great divide. He said, speak this word as I give it unto you. I ain't never heard nobody say that. Y'all taught me that. Y'all put those precepts together. Think about it. If he wanted us to eat the meat, if it wasn't just a compromise, then why would he kill them with the meat? He would have been like, okay, yes, it's quail was clean. That's what y'all don't understand. Quail was part of the dietary law. It's the clean meat. That chicken really ain't, but I ain't about to go there. But whatever. I ain't about to go there. That's a whole nother thing. I ain't about to go there right now. But quail was clean. So why would y'all kill them? Why would he make it? Why would he be so upset? And he said, because my son, I wanted my children to turn to me. We have free will, guys. That's what free will is. He wants us to see our wicked ways. We can read it. You all read Genesis. Don't play no games with me. That's y'all talking through me right now. That's y'all just said that.
I have a question.
Hold on, by y'all. He said, hold the question. Remember it. He said, don't play no games with me. You all read Bereshit. You all read Genesis. So you know my original covenant that I made with you when I created you. So do not play no games like you don't know what was written there. And he wanted us to wake up and come back on our own, but we refused. So that's why, and I'm about to let you go by y'all. That's why, and when I get back to Ezekiel, that's why he still told him, okay, yeah, you're right. You ate clean meat. You ate my compromise. And for that, you bake your bread on cow dung, cow feces. They still gonna bake on human feces. Go ahead, Badya.
Okay, here I go. Okay, I'm just saying because I heard this, it was taught to me before in some Sunday school somewhere. And it was taught to me that because of like their greed and them not okay, so I was told that he sent them the quail and then gave them specific instructions on how to handle it. But people were hoarding, taking more than they needed, being greedy, and just being wicked. So it's like he already knew that they would fall to their own demise. And it was like because they wasn't ready to let go of the so-called luxuries that was in Egypt. You know what I mean? So I never knew it. I never took it as because he didn't want them eating quail, period. I always took it as, you know, him because they didn't do right.
And you started off, you said you were taught that. Absolutely. From Christianity. Exactly. That's the error. That's why we're about to clean all this up. Absolutely. Think about it. That's why, what did he feed them? Remember, they were hungry. They left out of Egypt. He knew they were eating meat, steak, and all type of stuff. String bean, they was eating good. What did he give them? Manna. He could have gave them meat from the foundation. He could have been like meat on Fridays or meat on this. I'm going to give you quail. That ain't what he gave them. He did not give them meat because he never gave, that wasn't his original covenant for us anyway. And guess what? They roused his anger because what did they did? They desired flesh and blood. And he said, look at you, despicable. It's just a desire of flesh and blood is in your mouth, so I'm going to give you flesh and blood. But that Christian church taught you something totally different. That's the whole point. That's why we are coming out of her, my people. That's what y'all's doing this. He's pointing it out to you. Yeah, none of y'all probably never seen it that way. I didn't know it. Y'all told me. I'm new to a lot of it because I've been with the Father alone. He had me amongst all this foolishness. So when he revealing these things, that's him revealing it. And that's why I know all these words I'm saying nobody ever said before. That's what the whole thing of Ezekiel said, go forth and say it. I don't care if they don't like you, I don't care if they don't hear it, I don't care if nothing. Say what I said and save your own soul. Now I'm going to say what he said because I'm making it to the kingdom. That's why I always say that with conviction. I know I'm going home to the Father. You done bumped your rabbit mind. You think I ain't going home to y'all. You done bumped your head. I ain't die all these times. Y'all ain't see the testimony yet. I ain't go through all that. Not to me. I ain't Moshe. I ain't go through all that not to make it into my Father. I'm going home. I'm going home. You can believe that.
One more question.
Tell me to say. Go ahead.
So referencing back to when you were teaching us in the book of Ezekiel, right? And they spoke about, okay, so I'm just going to paraphrase it. I could be doing all the good works, all the good stuff, and then, you know, be found in sin at that very last moment when Mashiach pull up and through there, and now like all my righteousness is not going to account to anything, and vice versa. I could be full of sin, and then receive the truth and, you know, start living according to Torah and die right there that moment and still make it in. So wouldn't it be like some people might say like, they would try to contradict it in a way because it's like at one breath, you know, there's the scripture that say every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess, and on that day when you call upon the name. So I'm just hearing right now how those two things are saying two different things, but how somebody might try to take it now and say, oh, but wait, didn't it say if we call on the last day? But right here in Ezekiel it says, so I was putting it just in case somebody watches over the lesson and then try to flip it like that. So I was just...
Let me explain. So yes, because that's exactly what they do. They find pieces and then fit it to fit their narrative. That's the whole point. What he was saying when he was saying, if a man was righteous all that time, right? But then when he get to the judgment, that's what that is, right? He found out that he wasn't righteous. What the parable is saying is that you think that this man was righteous the whole time, but he was never righteous. Because at the judgment, your life is going to bear account against you. That's when you can't hide. So that's when everybody going to be surprised. When people who they thought was holy and righteous, and Yahushua going to say, get away from me, I never knew you. So it's again, now you reverse it for the other half, for that who you thought was unrighteous. See, this is where they get mixed up. They don't understand this part of the parable. They thinking that the person was unrighteous all that time. And then at the end, he became righteous all of a sudden. It don't work like that. I'm so sorry that y'all don't understand y'all, and y'all really don't understand the word, but that's what we're here for. That's what Mashiach's assembly is here for. That's what we're called to do, to bring you understanding. That's a parable. The same way that that man that they said was righteous the whole time wasn't righteous. That's why at the end they got exposed that he wasn't righteous. It's the same one that one that you thought was unrighteous.
Remember, Yasharal, do not be fooled. There is nothing new under the sun. The scripture says it. There are those who are among you who you think are righteous, and they are really not righteous. That's what the parable was talking about. And there are those who are around you who you might think are unrighteous, and they are righteous men and women. You have to be very careful. You know them by their fruit. Don't listen to what nobody's saying. I don't care what scriptures they reading. Know them by their fruit.
That's a parable. The same way that that man that they said was righteous the whole time wasn't righteous. That's why at the end they got exposed that he wasn't righteous. It's the same one that one that you thought was unrighteous all that time. But in him was righteousness. So that's why at the end it got revealed that he was righteous. It wasn't no 59 seconds. All of a sudden he was doing sin all his life. And then he just all of a sudden repented. That's a lie from the lake of fire. That man was righteous. That's the ones that you see. Thank you, y'all. Those are the people that you see, that people, I was one of them, where people think I'm a thug. People think I'm unrighteous. People think to this day, people have no idea who I am. I could be amongst you and you think I'm with, what's their name? Let's get some of these rappers' name. Lil Baby, Lil Tutu. Little, you know, they all little, right? I got lessons coming on this, how destroy our children, the men. They're all babies. Baby rapper, Lil Kiki, Lil Nunu, Lil Bebe, Lil whatever, right? I can stand right amongst them and they're going to think I'm one of them, right? But you don't know, I'm righteous. So at the judgment, when we at the judgment, and I'm like, excuse me, Kiana, I got you, I'm coming. And they're like, excuse me. I'm like, excuse me. He's like, come up here. They're like, oh, yeah, sure, come to the front. And I'm like, excuse me, people gonna be looking like, oh, I know he cast on a lake of fire, his butt, you know what I mean? His long hair or whatever, you know what I mean? We gonna get to that or whatever. And, you know, and I'm like, excuse me. And y'all shout like, come here, my son. In you, I am well pleased. That's what they talking about. You thought this person was in unrighteousness. Some of that is homeless people. That's why I say be careful who you entertain, because you will be entertaining angels unaware. That's wisdom. He ain't just saying that they're angels physical. They are angels, but it's also you'll be careful who you entertain, because you're going to be entertaining a righteous man and you don't know it. That's how they treated me when I came amongst Israel. They treated me like I was some worldly. They treated me, they still doing it. They about to all be exposed. Because I ain't got fringes and borders of blue and I ain't got the Hebrew costume, because I don't look the part. I look unrighteous. But because you don't got the Ruach to see Hamashiach. If you really had the Ruach, you would see me. That's how I always know. I knew where you are. I always know. I can tell where you are in this journey, because if you can't see me, then I know you ain't nowhere. I know you are nobody. When I come amongst you, I admit it. I used to do that in Christian church, everything. I said, if this pastor don't see who I am, he ain't anointed. I immediately know. All of them. I go amongst it. If you get to see, you're supposed to identify. You can see a Mashiach. Out of everybody sitting there, you're supposed to look at me and be like, hold up. And it happened a bunch of times. They'll keep looking over there, looking. And the first time I said, they see me. And right there, I said, oh, wow, this person got some type of anointing. And then some of them will come up to me. They'll literally come up or call me up and be like, I don't know what it is, but start trying to speak a word. And I know you're anointed because I know you see. If you don't see that, I know where you at. You ain't nowhere because you see a thug. See, that's the scripture. You see unrighteousness where it ain't none. So that's why you're going to be shocked at the judgment when you be like, they thinking like at the end, he just got, no, this man been righteous, but you thought it was unrighteous. And this man been unrighteous, but you thought it was righteous. Now let me continue. He said, then he said, and Yahweh, behold, I have never, okay, so Ezekiel is like, okay, Yah, like, I ain't never defiled myself. Like, you know, you got me eating my food on feces, on my feces. Like, come on, y'all, like, I'm righteous. I've never defiled myself. And he said, I've never defiled myself from my youth up until now. I've never eaten what died of itself, or was torn, these are Levitical laws, or what was torn by beasts, nor has tainted meat ever come into my mouth. Then Yah said to me, okay, so because of that, you eat your bread, you on cow dung, on cow crap instead of human dung, on which you may prepare your bed. Moreover, Yah said, son of man, behold, I will break the supply of bread in Yahushalam. They shall eat bread by weight and with anxiety, and they shall drink water by measure and in dismay. I will do this that they may lack bread and water and look at one another in dismay and rot away because of their punishment. This is why they don't like the God of the Old Testament, our Abba Yah. They don't like Yah. But guess what, guys? I love Yah. I love my Father and all his laws. Because guess what? I'm not going to do what these wicked ancestors did. Y'all better heed the word he's saying. I'm telling y'all now, this is the Ruach talking now. Ruach is speaking now. The Ruach said, y'all better listen to what y'all is saying. For all yours, when these lessons go out, y'all better listen. Elders and leaders, y'all better listen. And even those who are awakening, listen, eat this food. I don't care what you're watching. I don't care what you've been told. I don't care what ministry. I don't care how long they've been preaching it. I don't care what Hebrew ministry. Spit it all out. It's a different time. Y'all saying come back to the garden. He said come back home to his original covenant, not his compromise. He's showing you he don't like the compromise. This is what this is. Ezekiel like, man, I did the dietary laws. Y'all is angry. You don't see his anger? I ain't almost never seen him this angry so much in the scriptures. He's so angry, he put more curse on him. He said, moreover, he just ignored Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel's righteous. That's the angle that you got to understand. He said, yeah, I know you keeping the dietary laws. Yeah, you ain't eating unclean meat. So you're going to prepare yours on cow poop, right? Then and now I ain't addressing you no more. And also, behold, I'm going to break the supply of bread to them, and they going to eat bread by weight, meaning I'm going to starve them, and they're going to be anxious with anxiety. Ain't anxiety a demon? Didn't y'all teach y'all that through me? The other lesson, anxiety is a demon. He said, I'm going to give them over. Remember, he'll give you over to a reprobate mind. He'll give you over to these demons. He said he's going to measure their bread. He's going to break the supply, and he's going to measure it and with anxiety, and they shall drink water by their measure, little bit, in dismay. So they're going to be hungry and they're going to be thirsty. And I will do this that they may lack bread and water and look at one another in dismay, and they will rot away because of their punishment. That's a wicked God, right? See, that's what they teach you. Mama Batya, this is why we have to come out of Christianity, because they'll teach you. They don't teach from this. You'll go to Christian church and never hear these lessons. You'll hear the same from Paul and the book of, the stories. You'll hear the same thing over and 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 over again. Regurgitating. They call this Old Testament. They stay away from the Old Testament. The Old Testament is done away with. The law is done away with. The children of Israel done away with. Everything is done away with. Wow, rebuke. Oh, yeah. It's done away with till judgment come. Okay. And you, O son of man, take a sharp sword. Here we go. This is where I wanted to get to. I know it took long, but I had to, because y'all need to break all that down. This is the whole point right here of what he had me read this for. He said, and you, O son of man, take a sharp sword, use it as a barber's razor, and pass it over your head and your beard. Then take balances for weighing and divide the hair. A third part you shall burn in the fire in the midst of the city when the days of the siege are completed. And the third part you should take and strike with the sword. I'm going to get to it all around the city. And the third part you shall scatter to the wind, and I will unsheathe the sword after them. And you shall take from these a small number and bind them up your hair in the skirts of your robe. And on this again, you shall take some more of your hair and cast them into the midst of the fire and burn them in the fire. From there, fire will come out into all the house of Yasharal. Kuala Yah. The reason why the whole point of me reading this is twofold. You see the meat part, right? You see how Yah is unpleased with the meat. Kuala Yah, look what he's saying with the hair. Another part of this lesson is they use Paul to say men are not supposed to have long hair, right? It is a sin for men to have long hair. Another misquote of Paul, which we are about to address. We're about to clear up all this stuff tonight, okay? We're about to clear it all up. When he gave me this lesson about the meat, when I got to this part, I'm like, wow, y'all. He like, there you go. He like, duh, it's me. You know what I mean? Like in his word. Listen to what he said. And you, O son of man. Now remember, now you got context. He's upset at Jerusalem. Everything he's doing is in punishment against his righteous law. So whatever he's doing is against what he wants for what he wanted from us. He's punishing them. Remember, this is a punishment. If Ezekiel's long hair was unrighteous to him, he wouldn't be cutting it off as a punishment to them. You have to get context. And it's going to go deeper. We just touching the surface. If Ezekiel's long hair, and first of all, look how long it was. Oh, we about to break this down. Ezekiel's long locks, which they all had locks. That's what another part y'all don't know. Very, very, very few of them didn't have locks in their head. Y'all's original covenant, our original hair, locks, when we don't separate the hair and comb it, okay? And apparently his locks were long. So was Abraham's. Remember, he laid on a rock, right? He went to bed, put a stone, and they got these stones. I'm gonna do it in another lesson, and took his hair. You can't even do that with afro. Take your little afro and lay your head on the rock and see, won't you think if you're gonna get a good night's rest on a stone on the field. You ain't. You're gonna feel every bit of that stone through your nice little soft afro. You'll get a little cushion. You need locks. We could take our hair and bunch it all up in the side, right? And put that, it's a pillow. So y'all gotta understand the word of Yah. Praise Yah, Kimberly. Praise Yah. Y'all gotta understand the word of Yah. So y'all don't understand it. So me and Kimberly could take our hair in the wilderness when we go into the wilderness, right? And we can get that rock and you look around like, oh man, and I could take my thing and wrap it all up and put that pillow and lay my butt down and sleep like a doggone baby. That's what our ancestors did. I got another lesson coming separate upon that. They all had locks. They all had long hair. That's what you don't understand. But we're gonna get into that. He's just touching on it. We're gonna break all Paul's these misquotes down. And he said, now listen to this. He said, take a sharp sword. Now remember, this is a punishment for Yasharal. Use it as a barber's razor and pass it over your head and your beard. Now you know that's sin. We ain't supposed to be cutting off our beards. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be bald-faced. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother misquote when they say you ain't supposed to do, we can shave, we can be tidy, but that's a whole nother lesson. Another misquote of Paul, we're gonna get there in a second, all right? When they say to cut the corners of your beard, and some people are like, you can't even shave your beard, you gotta be all crazy. Absolutely, see, again, misquoting Paul. We're gonna get there, okay? So He said, because you can't, we ain't supposed to be bald faced. We ain't supposed to be men of Australia ain't supposed to be bald faced. Okay. That's the Roman stuff. That's why when you go get a job, what they tell you, clean, cut your head, shave, clean shaven, right? Suit and tie. That's Roman. That's Hasatan. That is not Yasharal. All right. We got beards and dreads. Hello, locks, beards and locks of hair on our head. Okay. Now, it's nothing wrong with having your afro or your natural hair. It ain't nothing wrong. You ain't supposed to be bald head unless you're naturally bald. Again, favor, grace, and mercy. If you balding and you trying to, it's okay. For my balding brothers, don't feel the kind of way. It's okay. You can, shave it off because you don't want the little circle thing. I understand. You can shave it.
Teacher, when you start the Healthy Hebrew series, I have a whole collection of natural hair products that I'm making right here at home with my little window garden. So if there's anybody alopecia, hair baldness, short, thin hair, I got y'all. As soon as our teacher starts the Healthy Hebrew series, I got y'all.
God, yeah, do me a favor. Get you a pen right now and write down some of the things you want to say, right? So, because sometimes you'll interrupt me and then I'll lose my train. So there's nothing wrong with it, but just write it down so then when you call on you, you can say everything that you want to say. You know what I mean? So you don't have to interrupt, because when I lose the ruach sometime. Yes, praise y'all. All right. So a third part. Oh, okay. Praise y'all. Okay. See, that's what I mean. I have to get back into the ruach again. And so he said, take a sharp sword, use it as a barber's rake, pass it over your head and your beard. Okay. Then take balances for weighing and divide the hair. That's telling you there's a lot of hair. That's a lot. That's us, me and Kimberly, and whoever else got a bunch of dreads on our head. That's a lot of hair. Okay. So he said, take the balances and weigh it, divide all this hair. A third part you shall burn in the fire in the midst of the city when the days of the siege are completed. And in another third part, you should take and strike with the sword all around the city. And then another, how much hair is this, guys? You see, when you need to see through different eyes, this is the prophet Ezekiel. But they're going to say, Paul said, it's a curse for a man to have long hair. This was a righteous prophet. Ezekiel is one of the most righteous men in the Bible. See how Paul's, but we're gonna straighten it out. We're gonna clean it up. Okay. I know Koala, y'all like, go ahead now you talking. Okay, here we go. So another third part, this is a lot of dreads. He got a lot of hair. Another third part. Now remember, this ain't an afro, right? Because you can't do that. What do you do? Cut an afro like a third part? Like, no, these are locks. They all had locks. And a third part you should take and strike with the sword all around the city. And another third part you should scatter to the wind, and I will unsheathe the sword after them. And you shall take from these a small number, from all these parts, take a small amount of your locks and bind them to the skirts of your robe. Remember, locks. If I take my locks and cut and bind to skeets, what do they look like? Seats, right? They'll look like fringes hanging from the bottom of our borders. You see? That ain't afro. What are you going to do? Take an afro? How are you going to bind it to it's locks? So you got to have the wisdom to understand. He ain't never said Ezekiel had locks. He said Samson has 7 locks on his head. So you know he had those thick locks like they do in Miami. But he ain't got to say Ezekiel had locks. He ain't got to say Adam had locks. Oh, we about to get there. Y'all going to learn today. We're going to keep this correct. Okay, so he said, and you should take from these a small number of your locks and bind them to the skirts of your robe, to your borders. And these, again, you shall take some more and cast them into the midst of the fire and burn them in the fire. From there, fire will come out into all the house of Israel. So he's doing prophecy. He's doing some symbolism. He's doing revelation. Yah is mad. I don't like to use the word mad. Yah is upset, angry, because angry is what he uses. Righteous anger, not mad. I rebuke that in the name of Yahushua. Yah is angry with the house of Yahshua, our ancestors. Thus says Yahuwah the Elohim, this is Jerusalem. I have set her in the center of the nations with countries all around her, and she has rebelled against my statute, my rule. Here we go. We can see, we going back to Shaw. All this, remember Paul's teachings, guys, when we get there. Remember Paul's teachings, right? This is Yah talking. Who's your Elohim? Is it Paul or is it Yah? Who are you going to listen to? You going to listen to Paul or you going to listen to the Most High? We're going to go there because y'all ain't even listen to the Yahushua. Y'all listen to Paul over everybody. That's why Paul became y'all God, okay? Because you want to do your sin. That's why you made him your God, okay? And you misquoting him. And like another brother said, Paul going to be ready to smack all y'all when we get to the kingdom. For everybody at the judgment, Paul going to be like, let me at him. Y'all all are misquoting my words. Everybody using me against my own people, okay? And he said, and I have set her in the center of nations with countries all around her, and she has rebelled against my rules. Rules are laws. She has rebelled against my laws by doing wickedness more than the nations. Wow, we are more wicked than the Gentiles. And against my statutes, what is it? Statutes, laws, and commandments, right? And what does Paul say? It's done away with, right? But he don't, but we're going to get there. And against my statutes, more than the countries all around him. Our ancestors were wicked and more wicked than the Gentiles. For they have rejected my rules and have not walked in my statutes. Therefore, thus says Yahweh Elohim, because you are more turbulent than the nations that are all around you, and you have not walked in my statutes or obeyed my rules, and have not even acted according to the rules of the... Oh, my goodness. Our ancestors were bad, guys. He said, you ain't keep my statute, laws, and commandments, and you ain't even keep the statute, laws, and commandments of the nations, the Gentile nations around you. You so wicked, you don't even keep their laws. You are an unlawful, wicked people. That's why he said, what? Give Caesar unto Caesar's. That's why in our captivity, we have to do what? Still abide by the laws of Caesar as long as they don't go against the laws of the Most High. You get it? We ain't supposed to go out there and steal or run a red light. Like, you get it? The laws of Caesar says don't run the red light. You ain't supposed to say, I'm going to run the red light because I got y'all. No, we are in law land Caesar, so we're supposed to abide by their laws. See, he's teaching you. He's teaching you. So he said, you ain't even act according to the rules of the nations that are all around you. Therefore, this says Yahweh Elohim, behold, even I am against you. And I will execute judgments in your midst in the sight of all the other nations. And because of all your abominations, I will do with you what I have never yet done. Oh my goodness. And the like of which I will never do again. Therefore, fathers shall eat their sons in your midst, and sons shall eat their fathers, and I will execute judgments on you. And any of you who do survive, I will scatter you to all the winds, to the four corners of the planet Earth. Who are those children of them? Us, guys. Talking about you some Christians, spiritual Israel. Rebuke you in the name of Yahushua. We are the children. That's why we are to rebuke all of their sins. We have to come from up under all their sins and come back. He's calling us back to the garden now. He's calling us even back further, before sin. He said, because of your abominations, I will do with you what I have never done. That is scary. That's a lot. He said, I'm going to do to you what I had never done, the like of which I will never do again. He's going to do to us. Woo, come on, y'all. He said he's going to do to us something that is so abominable that he will never, ever do it again. He don't even like what he's going to do to us. Think about chattel slavery, guys. Think about what happened to us. How abominable, man. It's so abominable that you can't even bring the words what our ancestors went through. It's breaking my heart right now. It's actually making me emotional. Y'all it broke his heart. He said what he about to do to our people is so bad that he ain't gonna never do it again. But he was so upset at our ancestors. So please listen to him, y'all. He's telling you, come home. He's saying, come out of her. He said, therefore, y'all don't know that happened to us. In 70 AD, they were starved out so bad they started eating their children. That happened to us in this chattel slavery in America. You don't know that some of our ancestors in slavery were starving so bad that they had to eat their children. You have no idea how bad it was. He said, therefore, fathers shall eat their sons in your midst, and sons shall eat their fathers, and I will execute judgments on you. And any of you who survive, I will scatter to all four corners of the planet Earth. Therefore, as I live, declares Yahuwah, our Elohim, surely because you have defiled my sanctuary with all your detestable things and with all your abominations, therefore I will withdraw my eye, will not spare, and I will have no pity. Do you know what revelation he gave me when I read that this morning? He said, because you have defiled my sanctuary. Please, somebody tell me, what is his sanctuary? Where's his temple?
Our bodies.
Bodies.
Y'all see? Y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this. Our bodies is his sanctuary. There's no more temples. They're still here. The Holy Spirit shall what? Circumcise your heart. It shall exist in your temple. So the temple has to be purified for the Holy Spirit to exist. Your body is the temple. He said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Therefore, as I live, declares Yahweh, surely because you have defiled my sanctuary with all your detestable things. That flesh and blood is detestable. And with all your abominations. Paul said that you can eat any meat that they sell, any meat. Just say it's righteous, even swine, which the Most High called an abomination. You see the words he used? He said, and with all your abominations. Because guess what? Christianity, remember, Pastor Pork Chop is eating swine. Yo, Pastor. That's why he's fat up there sweating like a hog. That's why he looked like a pig. Because Paul said, Paul said, and you're misquoting Paul, so we're going to clarify that in a minute. Paul said, all things under Thanksgiving, all meat is good. You can eat any meat that they sell in the store. Do not. He said, if you go into anybody's house and they cook you meat, don't refuse it. Eat it. Paul said, you a liar and a hypocrite. You don't know, Shaul. You're about to find out why you don't know what Paul said. Yahusha said, Yahweh said, well, Yahusha, because that's the spirit of Yah speaking. That's both. But Yahweh said, you have defiled his temple with all your detestable things and with all your abominations. Therefore, he will withdraw. His eye will not spare, and he will have no pity. A third part of you shall die of pestilence and be consumed with famine in your midst. A third part shall befall by the sword all around you. The third part I will scatter to all the winds and unsheathe the sword after them. Only a third will make it. Remember? I'm talking about now. Remember, everything Yah does, it correlates. Yah don't speak. Remember, he's the Most High. He don't speak in just one thing. But you have to have the gift to discern it. You have to see when it's relating to this and when it's relating to that and when it's a correlation, when it's a symbolism for then as well as now. And he said he will scatter them and all that, and only a third will make it. Remember, a third will get salvation, a third, a remnant. Thus shall my anger spend itself, and I will vent my fury upon them and satisfy myself, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah, and that I have spoken in my jealousy. And when I spend my fury upon them, moreover, I will make you a desolation and an object of reproach among all the nations all around you, and in the sight of all who pass you by. What do we say? You shall be what? A byword and a proverb, a reproach to all the nations when I scatter you to the four corners of planet Earth. When you go to the daughter of Babylon, to Egypt again, bondage by ships. Who is he talking to? He says nothing new under the sun. We are the children. This is Jerusalem. These are our children, 70 AD. These are our ancestors, what they did. Nothing new under the sun. We repeat the same thing. That same anger and fury will be repeated. But he said he won't do that to us no more. This time, everybody just is over. It's just game over. It's just game over. That's it. That remnant who come back will get salvation, make it. Those who make it to the wilderness, Yahushua coming back, not as a lamb, as a lion, with a sword, get to the wilderness, kill everybody who was rebellious, and then we can start the party. You heard? Y'all better know the word. Y'all better take heed to Yahuwah. This is the last day and time. This is it. Hear him now or don't hear. What did he say further up? He said, "He who has ears, don't say." Just say what I tell you to say. And whoever have ears to hear, let him hear. Whoever don't let him hear. It don't matter. It's game over. Game over. And the fury, moreover, I will make you a desolation and an object of reproach among the nations all around you and in the sight of all who pass you by. You shall be a reproach and a taunt and a warning and a horror to the nations all around you when I execute judgments on you in anger and fury and with furious rebukes. I am Yahuwah. I have spoken. When I send against you the deadly arrows of famine, arrows for destruction, which I will send to destroy you. And when I bring more and more famine upon you and break your supply of bread, I will send famine and wild beasts against you, and they will rob you of your children. Pestilence and blood shall pass through you, and I will bring a sword upon you. I am Yahuwah, and I have spoken. Whew. Praise Yah, we got through that. Told y'all this is going to be a lot. Told y'all this is going to be heavy today. I know some of y'all have never heard that before. That's why they don't like God. God, Old Testament, really, they don't like Yah. They like that, God. They don't like Yah. This Old Testament God, he do fury. He wants us to come back home unto covenant. So he told me, Jeremiah 7. Whew. The word that came from Yirmiyahu, from Yahuwah, stand in the gate of Yahuwah's house and proclaim there this word and say, hear the word of Yahuwah, all you men of Judah who enter the gates to worship Yah. Thus says Yahuwah of hosts, Yahuwah Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts, guys, Yahuwah Sabaoth is like Yah's soldier. I'll teach another lesson to explain that Yah comes in different images, like we are in the image of Yah. Yahushua, like the burning bush, different angels, like he sends himself in different images that speak the word of Yah. It's like a, what they call that in the world, when you have power of attorney. They got power of attorney to speak the word of Yah. It's like Yah speaking. Yahuwah Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts, is that's the soldier. That's the one that come to bring the drama. And so whenever you see the Lord of hosts, that's that spirit, and it's called Yahuwah Sabaoth. That's no joke. So hear the word of Yahuwah, all you men of Judah who enter the gates to worship Yah. Thus says Yahuwah Sabaoth, the Yahuwah of Yasharal, amend your ways and your deeds, and I will let you dwell in this place. Do not trust in these deceptive words. This is the temple of Yahuwah, the temple of Yahuwah, the temple of Yahuwah. So he's telling you right there, don't trust. He said, amend your ways and deeds, and I'll let you dwell in this place. Do not trust people, all their words. People telling you this is the temple of Yahuwah, this is the temple of Yahuwah, this is the temple of Yahuwah. For if you truly amend your ways and your deeds, if you truly execute justice one with another, if you do not oppress the sojourner, did he just say if you do not oppress those who is that? The Gentile? Did he just mention Kiana and Matthew and them? The young chasing them, whoever's here, any of the Gentiles that are here, he does that all through the Bible, just in case y'all don't know. Every time he says a word for us, he always mentions them. Every time. Never fails. He said, if you So if you truly amend your ways and your deeds, if you truly execute justice with one another, if you do not oppress the Gentile that sojourn with us, the fatherless, or the widow, and if you do not shed innocent blood in this place, and if you do not go after other gods to your own harm, then I will let you dwell in this place, in the land that I gave of old to your fathers forever. Now, this is the gentle Most High. He's always had mercy and grace on us, but we let him down so much. Sometimes you get, it's a righteous anger. Like and in Ezekiel, he just had enough. You could tell he was done. Behold, you trust in the deceptive words to no avail. Will you steal, murder, commit adultery, swear falsely, make offerings to Baal, to the Lord, and go after other gods that you have not known, and then come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered? That's what I was just talking about when we was talking about the Christians say they are saved. They do all the sin. Listen what he just said. Woo, thank you, y'all. This is what we was talking about at the beginning of this. He said, you go to church on Sunday, right? You just was partying all night, sinning, smoking weed, having sex, drinking, doing all your sins, right? Steal, murder, that's what he told all his sins. And then you come stand before him and say, we are delivered. That pastor tell you, come on down, speak with your name, say that Jesus is Lord and you believe, and you are what? Delivered. Y'all don't play. He don't play. He don't play. Whenever you speak the word, he's going to give you confirmations. He's going to give you 2 or more witnesses. He's going to give you, ain't nothing I'm going to ever say to y'all. It will never be a word that I ever say to you, Yahshua, that he won't confirm, because it's not my words. He's going to always confirm it. I don't know where it's coming from, but he'll confirm it. That's what he's talking about. And then come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered, only to go on doing all the same abominations. That's what I just said. Only to go right out the church and go back to sinning again and come right back next week. Has this house, which is called by name, become a den of robbers in your eyes? Behold, I myself have seen it, declares Yahweh. Go now to my place that was in Shiloh, where I made my name dwell at first, and see what I did to it because of the evil of my people, Yahshua. Man, our people, we should be ashamed of our ancestors. And they got you doing ancestral worship. You know, everything, call on your ancestors. Call for them doggone wicked sinners. That's the problem, ancestral worship. That's demonic. And now, because you have done all these things, declares Yahweh, and when I spoke to you persistently, you did not listen. And when I called you, you did not answer me. Therefore, I will do to the house that is called by my name, which is us, Yahshua, and in which you trust, and to the place that I gave to you and to your fathers, as I did to Shiloh, and I will cast you out of my sight, as I cast out all your kinsmen and all the offspring of Ephraim, which did wicked. Child of Joseph. That's what Samaria was. That's why that woman at the well was from the tribe of Joseph. She thought she was a Gentile. She was a Gentile because Ephraim went astray. Become Gentiles. That's what that is. That's why he said what Ephraim did. Remember, Ephraim is Joseph. Ephraim and Manasseh is Joseph's 2 children. That's the tribe of Ephraim. And they call it the tribe of Manasseh, 1, 2, and 1. That's what that is. Thank you, y'all, for allowing me to bring clarity to those who didn't know. As for you, do not pray for this people. Woo! I didn't know this was there. Oh, I got something to teach y'all about prayer. You keep praying against y'all. You don't even know what prayer is. That's coming. The lesson of prayer is coming. People to realize, everybody pray. You don't realize, Todd Job be telling you, don't pray for them. I rebuke, he don't even hear your prayers. He say that too in there. I don't even hear your prayers. Like this, but he got it coming. He gonna teach everything he's doing. He's getting it straight. He's getting the house in order. That's what this is called. He's getting the house in order. So that lesson is coming. As for you, do not pray for this people or lift up a cry or prayer for them. What will we say? Think about it. All of us right here, first thing we will say is, let's pray for them, right? That's what we've been taught. That's what Christianity has taught us. First thing we'll say, oh my God, we need to pray for them. What did Yah tell you? Do not pray for these people or lift up a cry of prayer for them, and do not intercede with me, for I will not hear you. He taught me that a long time ago. I was going against his prayers, praying for everybody. I'm praying for everybody. Oh, yeah, I pray this. Oh, yeah, man, you ready? He like, stop praying against me. I said, whoa, what are you talking about? He said, you're praying against my will. My will is to destroy this person, and you praying that they be healed. Woo, it's coming. I got a lesson coming. We walking slowly, guys. I'm gonna walk this slowly with y'all because it's a lot. That's why I ain't released the other lesson we did yet. He told me, not yet. It's too much. A lot of this is too much. He got baby steps, baby food, and he said, do all these testimonies and they'll be able to receive it more and more once they really see who you are, know in me. So I get it. I said, oh, thank you, y'all. Okay. So he said, do not lift up a cry or a prayer for them, and do not intercede with me, for I will not hear you. Do you not see what they are doing in the cities of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem? The children gather wood, the fathers kindle fire, and the women knead dough to make cake for the queen of heaven. And they pour out drink offerings to other gods to provoke me to anger. Is it I whom they provoke, declares Yahweh? Is it not themselves to their own shame? Therefore, thus Yahweh says, behold, my anger and my wrath will be poured out on this place, upon man and beast, upon the trees of the field and the fruit of the ground. It will burn and not be quenched. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, the Yahweh of Israel, and your burnt offerings, here we go, and your burnt offerings to your sacrifices, and eat the flesh. Okay, let me rewind. He said, it's to whom they provoke, declares Yah, they're wicked, right? To their own shame. Therefore, behold, my anger and wrath will be poured out to this place upon man and beast, upon the trees of the field and the fruit of the ground. It will burn and not be quenched. Thus Yahuwah Sabaoth, the Yahuwah of Israel, the Most High, the Elohim of Israel, said, and your burnt offerings to your sacrifices, and eat the flesh. So he said, all of your wickedness. Remember, he said they pour out drink offerings to other gods, right? They provoke him to anger, right? They're doing all the wickedness. They gather wood and kindling fires, and woman is kneading dough and making cakes to the queen of heaven, right? They're giving burnt offerings and sacrifices, and they are eating the flesh. That will go right past everyone's head. See how he's tying all this in? He said, he said, my son, bring my word to him about this eating this flesh, because they thinking I'm okay with this. And that's my compromise, that I didn't want them to stay doing this. I wanted them to come back to me. They have free will. I want them to choose me. That's why he said he have a great love for the Gentiles who choose him, because they chose him. He said, I want them to come from under it themselves. Choose me. Look at me. You hear, you know in Genesis what my original covenant is? He said all this stuff they were doing. You see it? Kindle on fire, the queen of heaven, provoking them to anger, doing all this, turning their face, doing all this. He said, don't pray for them. He said, and the burnt offerings and they sacrifice they make, and they're eating flesh. For in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I did not speak to your fathers or command them concerning brought. Woo! He said, for the day, this covers what Yah was just saying. He said, for in that day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I did not speak to your fathers or command them concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices or eating the flesh. See, they just left that out. You see, it's here. He said, and your burnt offerings to your sacrifices and eating of the flesh, right? And he said, for in that day I brought them out of the land of Egypt, which you were just saying, I did not speak to your fathers or command them concerning the burnt offerings and sacrifices or eating the flesh. They just left that out. Because that's why he said, that's why he didn't give them the flesh in the wilderness. That's why when they cried out for flesh and blood, he said, I will give this to you till it kill you. That answers what I was bringing up. Told you, 2 or 3 witnesses. Go confirm itself. That's what the Bible is. 2 or 3 witnesses. And when we get to Shaul, Paul, find me 2 or 3 witnesses for all Paul has said. Go through the book. Go through the whole book. the original covenant and the renewed covenant, the Old Testament and the New Testament, and find me 2 or 3 witnesses that confirm when Paul says all this crap that you saying Paul said. You can't. There's not one other witness through the whole Bible that says the law is done away with, that says you can eat any meat, that says all the stuff that Paul says that y'all are using to do your sin with. You can't find no other 2 or 3 witnesses because they ain't there. It's because you don't understand Paul. And we about to get to it. That's what y'all wanted to bring out. For in the day I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I did not speak to your fathers or command them concerning burnt offerings and sacrifice and eating of the flesh. We ain't about to leave that out. But this command I gave them, obey my voice, and I will be your Elohim, and you shall be my people, and walk in all the ways that I command you, that it may be well with you. But they did not obey or incline their ear, but they walked in their own counsel and the stubbornness of their evil hearts, and went backwards and not forward. From the day that your fathers came out of the land of Egypt to this day, I have persistently sent all my servants and prophets to them day after day, yet they did not listen to me or incline their ear, but they stiffened their neck and did worse than their fathers. Now he got Jeremiah. He just went to Ezekiel. So you shall speak all these words to them, but they will not listen to you. Ain't that the same thing he said to Ezekiel? You shall call them out, but they will not answer you. And you should say to them, this is the nation that did not obey the voice of Yahweh the Elohim, and they did not accept this discipline. Truth has perished, and it is cut off from their lips. Okay? So, I know this is a lot. We're going to go to Genesis. Now it's time. He said, I gave you enough. I gave you enough to see from my prophets. Okay? You heard my words. You heard what I said. You hear me. I do not receive your eating of this flesh. It was a compromise after sin. And we're about to find out. Okay. Y'all can see that, right? All right. So we're going to go. We go back. We're going back to the garden. We're going back to the garden, guys. We're going back to the Most High's original covenants. Let's go home. This is home, guys. Everywhere else is not our home. He's talking now. He said, this is where he created us. This is our original home. Everything after Adam and Eve brought sin into the world is not our home. That is not our original covenant. Absolutely, unequivocally not. Okay, I need to see. All right, I need to see the time. I don't care. We're doing this. Those who can't stay, watch it in the replay. Y'all's going in. Okay, in the beginning, Bereshit. In the beginning, Yahweh created heaven and earth, right? And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of, and the spirit of Yahweh moved upon the face of the waters, right? Okay. And Yahuwah said, let there be light, and there was light. And Yah saw the light, and it was good. This is the key he wants you to remember. The light, he said the light was good. And then he divided the light from the darkness, and called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. He did not call the darkness good. Remember that. And who are we called to be? The light, right? Okay. So the light, it was good. And then Yahweh said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, divide the waters from the waters. Okay, we'll go into the flat earth thing later. All that is a firmament, we in the middle, waters below, waters above. All that ain't what we're going into, and Yahweh made the firmament and divided the waters which are under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And Yahweh called the firmament Shamayim, heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Okay, we're moving right along. And Yahweh said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And he called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas. And Yah saw that it was what, guys? Good. Okay, remember this part. Good. Remember, what he's saying is good. And he saw that it was good. And Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth grass, and the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. Remember how Yah talks. He says this fruit is a his. Personable, right? That's the other lesson I had about the Garden of Eden with Adam and the fruit and all that. It's all to be, remember, mysteries and parables. So he called this fruit a his, like personable. And the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself. It's a his because the seed is in who? Man. Our seed goes implanted into you, the woman, the earth, and it bears forth fruit, the seed, the child. So that's why the fruit, he's saying, his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb, yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielded fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and Yah saw that it was what? Good. Remember, we still all good. We didn't get to bad. There is no sin in the world. Okay? Yah's going to walk y'all through this slowly. He said, bring them back to the garden. They need to go back to kindergarten. You heard? That's ill. That's ill, y'all. He said, back to kindergarten. Okay. He said, and the tree yielded fruit, which seed was in itself after his kind, and Yahweh saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. We're moving right along. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the Shamayim to divide the day from the light. Let there be for signs and seasons, for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yahweh made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the less light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Yahweh set them in the firmament of the Shamayim to give light upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and divide the light from the darkness. And Yahweh saw it was good. We still all in the good. We still in the green, guys. We in the green. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Now we getting somewhere. The fifth day. And Yahweh said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life. Here we go. Now he's bringing his children into this world. Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life. Remember, Yah has to breathe the breath of life. Okay? And fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of the heaven. And Yah created the great whales. This is beautiful stuff here, guys. And every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind. And every winged fowl after his kind. Those birds you like to eat and kill and put in your stomach, okay? After their kind. And every winged bird after his kind. And Yah saw that it was what? Good. There's still no bad. There's still no death. There's still no sin. There's still no killing. There's still no murder. There's no evil. But guess what? The darkness was here from the beginning. So the evil is always here. It was void and darkness was upon the face of the deep, the marine kingdom. That's why he separated the waters from the waters. Oh, we'll go into it deeper later. We're going to get there. We're going to go into it deeper later, okay? He's doing something right now. So now he's letting you know evil was always here. That's why he said the light was good. See? And God saw the light that it was good. And he divided the light from that darkness. That darkness ain't good. So that means evil was here, but nothing was manifest. Everything was good. The evil was contained. It was within itself. It did not have dominion. We did not sin. Sin was not brought into the world. Okay. So, and he created the great whales and living creatures and moving. God saw that it was good. And okay, and brought forth abundantly after the kind. Every winged fowl, all those birds you want to eat, right? After his kind. And God saw, remember, those chickens got wings and those turkeys got wings. Sorry, don't mean to disrupt your stuff, but we're going back to the garden. And Yahweh saw that it was good. And he blessed them. He blessed them. That's the first time you've seen that. Remember, you have to do this slowly and listen to the words intrinsically, specifically, okay? Concretely. He ain't blessed nothing else. This is the first blessing. He blessed the whales, those fishes and stuff we eating. He blessed those chickens and stuff we trying to kill and eat, and they torturing and slaughtering them. He saw it was good and he blessed them, telling them to be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the sea and let the fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna go, this is the garden. He said, come back home. Okay, now let's go forward, the sixth day. And Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing. Uh-oh, now we get into our brothers and sisters, the meat eater cow, who we like to eat, our hamburgers and stuff, right? Steak and stuff. He said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and the beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Yahweh made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And Yahweh saw that it was good. Again, ain't no foul, ain't no sin, ain't no bad. So why should they be slaughtered and killed? Okay, we're getting ahead. And Yahweh said, let us make, here we go. Let us make man now, after all of his other creatures were made. And they were all good. Now he's going to make his creation in his own image. So y'all got to understand the power in this. The power in this. And Yah said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, right? Talking to the host of the Shamayim, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing upon the earth. And the earth. So Yah created man in his own image, and the image of Yahweh created he him, male and female created he them, and Yahweh blessed them. This is the second blessing, guys. The only time, the second blessing, and he blessed them, and Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And Yahweh said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for what? Meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth when there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Here we go, guys. And Yahweh saw everything that he had made, and behold, he said it was what? Very good. Yes, nobody wants to, they want to ignore the garden. They want to go, see, sin ain't still in the world yet. Ain't no killing. He said it was very good. This is an exclamation point. This is a mic drop. This is it. He said everything else was good. So now he's completed. He has his completion. This is his original covenant. This is the covenant that the Most High made when he created us. Not after these fools did their little thing with Hasatan and brought the serpent seed into the world and cheated and had sex and all this crap they did. Okay? Not all that crap they did. Before that, it was very good. Everything was made. We had dominion over the animals. They were our brothers and sisters. Dominion means when you have dominion over something, you protect it. You nurture it. You take care of it. You provide for it. You love it. It is yours. You are in charge. It's like when you leave your children in charge of the other little children, they're responsible. You're like, listen, you're in charge. So whatever happens is going to be on your head. You need to take care of this. You need to be responsible. You need to you understand? Dominion. There was no kill them and eat them. He said, I will give, okay, what did he say? And behold, I've given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon all the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. Not your brothers and sisters. He did not say, I'll give you this fowl of the air for me. I'll give you this cattle and beast for me. I'll give you this turkey, this chicken, this Levitical clean meats for me. I ain't say none of that. This is the original covenant. Do you want to go back to Yah's original covenant, what he created us for? Or are you a slave to your stomach, you wicked slave? Are you too weak? And I'm not talking to y'all who just awakening up. I'm talking to the elect, the elders, the leaders. So just ignore my tone, guys. I have a mission to do. I'm on a mission from Yah, okay? I'm on a mission. I have something to do. And I'm talking to them. And you're about to see one right now. You're about to hear from one of them right now in their own words. You're about to hear from them. And Yah told me to do it. So all of you mores, leaders, elders, with all your churches all over the place, you done read this 1,001 times. Have you not? Don't tell me you ain't read this. You done read this. But nobody's called you out on it, right? And it's okay. Maybe y'all didn't want to bring the word then. Maybe this is the time that he sent, there's more coming, that he sent one of his elect. He sent the person to do this thing, to speak this word. So I can't judge you for it, but you will be judged by what you do from here on. Okay? You will be judged because he's bringing it out. And I'm going to each one of you, I will be emailing you. I know a lot of you watch me. I'm not foolish. Because you got to understand something. Yah speaks to me. I have the Ruach. He tells me things that I ain't supposed to know in the flesh, but I know it because it's the Ruach. It's called the what? The great revelator. It tells you all things. So all things that I am needed to know, he tells me. So I know who's watching me. Sorry that y'all don't understand this. But watch a lot of my testimonies. You'll get more understanding. See, okay, he probably do know because what the crap this dude went through. So anyway, I'm going to be emailing each of you, every last one of y'all, because you will have a choice to make. All of y'all. This is the end. Repent. Turn from it. All of you leaders and elect with a stomach full of the abomination. You see what he said to Ezekiel? You see what he did to him? We just read it. See, that's when you can't go against the word of Yah. That's why he told me, this lesson, my son, brings scripture. That's why I told you at the beginning, we get into the word. It ain't going to be my own understanding. He said, That's why I was labored this morning. I was tired. 2 hours of sleep. I'm like, man, because I can just preach the word. I ain't got to do all this. I can just go. He like, This is the word. You need to go get all these. You see all these tabs. Get all these scriptures up. Get them all ready. Get them all. Do the work. because they can't, so that they cannot deny. You're getting one more chance. This is the leaders and the elders. Everybody else who have ears to hear, babies and all that, just listen. You're seeing it. Start to wean yourself from that flesh and blood. Start with the red meat, get rid of it. To start the fast from the chicken and the turkey, because the blood that ain't our diet, that ain't what we're supposed to eat. And the sister was right. They already it's tainted, it's destroyed. It ain't even. Understand something. His Levitical priesthood, his dietary laws was because we were raising our own animals. The beast wasn't raising those animals. We had them in our backyard and they were eating grains, organic, all of that. So the meat was able to be cleaned. All of y'all that just did your little feast days, right? That's why he said in the scriptures, separate lesson coming, I abhor your feast days. He said your feast days are an abomination to him because of what you're doing. You understand? So what you did, you know what you did? You ate your little lamb, right? That lamb is defiled. That lamb ain't clean. There's no clean meat unless you got your own lamb and you raised little Susie the lamb from birth and fed her clean meat and everything and then killed her without her looking fast so she don't get to see it, which you still ain't supposed to be doing. That's kind of like that's like a Levitical sacrifice, right? It's like a blood sacrifice when you think about it. Just think about it. I'm going to do it so she can't see it, like the little cut her neck and kill her so she don't have too much pain. And that's like a blood sacrifice. Ain't that done away with? Y'all don't get this. Y'all got to see it from different eyes. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her. He's saying, wake up. Come out of it. Get the abomination out of your stomach. You see, we just read it in Jeremiah. Y'all can't act like y'all ain't see it. So, all these leaders, he said, the tree yielding seed shall be for meat, and even the beast didn't eat meat. Understand something. Our brothers and sisters, the animals, before Adam and Eve brought sin into the world, they did not kill each other. There was no such thing as a carnivore. He wrote that down. Come on, y'all. He said, carnivores. Here we go. Where is it? Carnivore. Canine teeth. Our teeth. Are our canines elongated? Do we have elongated canines to rip the flesh as carnivores developed into after sin? After they got transformed and metamorphosized and mutated into beasts, carnivores, right? He said, do we got carnivore teeth? He said, the passive animals are the herbivores. All of the biggest animals in the animal kingdom are herbivores. The elephants, the giraffes, all of the biggest animals, even in the dinosaurs, the brontosaurus, the ones who ate from the tops of the trees, the big, peaceful ones that walk boom, 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 and ate from the tops of the trees. All the huge animals, the biggest animals on existence are herbivores. They do not, the smallest are the carnivores. The raptors, that's in the dinosaur kingdom, right? The little raptors, they come fast and wicked, canines, blood, drooling, eating flesh and blood, right? Same thing, the animals in the animal kingdom got canines, long canines so they can rip, and they're small and fast, right? They're not big. The big, healthy ones are the herbivores, and they're peaceful. All of the herbivores are peaceful, and the canines are what? The carnivores are what? Vicious, demonic. They come to kill, right? They come to slay, kill, steal, kill, and destroy, right? They hunt. That was after sin was brought into the world. Before sin was brought into the world, no animals were carnivores. None of them. They didn't eat meat. He said, every green herb for meat, for the animals, for all the beasts of the field and the fowl of the air, and everything that creepeth upon the earth, when there's life, I have given every green herb for meat. So they ate the green herbs, and it was so. And he saw that everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. So that is very good to the Most High, not just good. So you have a choice to make. Do you want to please the Most High, or do you want to please your flesh? Do you want to do after sin was brought into the world? We ain't about to go into it, but let's just let's just entertain ourselves for a little second here. And the seventh day, the most important of them all. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day, Yahuwah ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day for all his work which he had made. And he blessed that seventh day, and he sanctified it. That's the first time he sanctified anything. That's the third blessing and the first sanctification. Because that in it, he had rested from all his works which Yahuwah created and made. That's our holy day. That's the Shabbat. That's why he said, keep this forever. That's the only sanctification, the first sanctification since creation. I'm quite sure nobody ever said that to you, taught you that before. Only third blessing, first sanctification. And there we go. Now it goes into he created man. Okay, so he said now he created man. He's going to say how he created the man, right? And made the earth and the heaven. These are the generations of the heavens of the earth when they were created. In the day that Yahuwah made the earth and the heavens and plant and every plant of the field before it was in the earth and every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahuwah had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground, but there went up a mist from the earth and the ground, and Lord Yahweh formed for the dust of the ground and breathed through his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So now he's explaining how he created it. Here we go. Praise Yah. I was supposed to keep going. The planting of this is our home, guys. This is our home. And Yahuwah planted a garden eastward in Eden. Eden is our home. He put a garden in Eden. And there he put the man who he formed. So when he created us, this is his original covenant. This is before sin was brought into the world. This is what he wants us to go back home to, the garden, back to Eden. There he put the man whom he had formed, and out of the ground made Yahuwah God Yahweh to grow every tree. Okay, and out of the ground, he put the man in the garden, in Eden, right? In the garden in Eden, and out of the ground, he grew every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for what? Food. Again, he's telling us what is our food. This is not the compromise. Don't come to me with your Levitical dietary. I don't want to hear none of it. That's okay. You can abide by it. It's okay. It's not for everybody. I'm talking to the elders and leaders and the shepherds who call themselves leading the children of Yahshua. You are held to a different standard. Now, to those of you who got a call and elect to be something more, then you have ears to hear, let them hear. You know what I mean? That's between you and Yah. You understand that? Other than that, keep the dietary laws. He said, to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now we get funky. So we got the tree that's pleasant to the sight and all good for food that we can eat from. And there's a tree of life that we can partake from, receive. Remember, Eden. Remember he said, eat these scrolls in Ezekiel? See? So eat is symbolic, right? So that tree of life, eat from, right? Wisdom, life, Yahusha, the tree of life, the word, Yah. Also in the midst of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that tree of knowing too much, that tree of wickedness, that tree of, and the river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thenceforth it was parted and became into 4 heads, named the first Sizon, compassed the whole Havilah, where is gold, and the gold of the land is good. That land is good, and there's bdellium and onyx stone, and the name of the second river is Gihon, the same word. Okay. The forbidden fruit. Okay, so we ain't got to go into it. Oh, and God took the man, put him in the garden of Eden to dress it. Okay, yeah, we do need to go. And Yahuwah took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and keep it, take care of it. Okay, remember, we got dominion over the animals, and now we got dominion over this garden, our home. Take care of it, dress it, keep it. Gave us a beautiful home. What you supposed to do? Take care of it. He put you in a nice mansion. What you gonna do? Turn it to trash? And Yahweh commanded the man, saying, here we go again, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. He's speaking a word. So again, he said, of every tree of the garden you shall eat. Remember, the animals been there. He didn't say you can eat the chicken, you can eat the lamb, you can eat all this other stuff. He constantly telling you that this garden, these trees, these fruits you can eat, and the herb-bearing seeds, right? You can eat from the ground. They've not said nothing about eating no animals. And then look, and Adam names the animals. In case y'all need more clarification, in case you forgot, he gonna mention the animals now. And Yahweh said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. And out of the ground, Yahweh formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle. He said, this is Bessie. This is Lulu the lamb. You know what I mean? This is Tigger the tiger. This is, he ain't say, ooh, I'm going to eat that lamb chop. Ooh, Bessie the cow, I'm going to make some steak with flesh and blood. He wasn't a savage. You are a savage. He's talking now. He's talking now. You carnivores. You desire flesh and blood, the blood dripping from your teeth. Your belly is crying out, feed me flesh and blood, feed me flesh and blood. That's why y'all say, here, give them rain quail till they die. You savages. And what did they do? They all died. Did they not die in the wilderness? Did one of them make it out? Y'all better wake up. I'm sorry, guys. He's making a hard lesson. He's making it a hard lesson. My goodness. My goodness. Man, they got 86 in the chat. I hope this chat is on my screen. I hope it worked this time, because I can imagine what y'all saying in that chat. Whew, my goodness. This is serious, guys. And I know y'all see it. I know y'all see it. And out of the ground, he named every animal. And Adam gave names to all the cattle and the fowl, and every beast of the field. For Adam, there was not found a helpmeet for him. And then he created Eve. Who all my daughters of Zion is coming next. That I'm gonna do the prayer that y'all have to divorce Hasatan. It's coming. Because I'm going to release the lesson. Y'all know who was on that Bible study. It hasn't been released to the world yet. He told me to wait. It's too heavy. But it will be released soon. And that prayer that I said in it, which we have to, for the daughters of Zion to say, to divorce yourselves, to come back from Eve's sin, from this wicked grandmother, okay? And Adam, weak butt, Ahab, nature, when it brought sin into the world, what started all this mess. So that will be coming, and he will be releasing that Bible study, and we will be releasing that prayer, and we will all say that prayer together for the daughters of Zion, for all those home, because you have to divorce yourself. You have to divorce yourself from your first love. Bible study every Tuesday, 8 p.m. We're having a Zoom Bible study. I'm going to put, email me for the link.
I'm a lion of the tribe of Judah. Precious, chosen people of the Most High. You got that right.
We hope you have a good time watching our videos, and we'll see you in the next video.
And we'll see you in the next video. So like and subscribe.
Our channel.
Yeah.
We are the true Hebrews, the true and real Israelites. We are the true ones that fulfill Bible prophecy and scripture.